Welcome back to the final day of our Switzerland adventure. Over the last 2 days, we've explored lakes, mountains, villages, and some of the most beautiful train routes in the world. But today was special. Today we were about to experience one of Switzerland's most famous railway journeys, the Bernina route. And if everything went according to plan, maybe even our first snowfall of the trip. So let's begin our final day from Zurich Hauptbahnhof. Early in the morning, we left Zurich and headed towards Chur, the oldest city in Switzerland. From Chur, we boarded the famous Bernina route, operated by the Rhedische Bahn. This railway is part of a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is considered one of the most beautiful train journeys in the world. The best part? The route is fully covered by the Swiss Travel Pass, making it one of the best value scenic journeys in Switzerland. As the train slowly climbed higher into the Alps, the scenery kept changing. Deep valleys, dramatic bridges, rivers, tunnels started appearing around every corner. This is one of those journeys where you don't want to look at your phone. You simply sit by the window and watch nature perform. We finally arrived in the world-famous resort town of St. Moritz. The moment we exited the station underpass, an incredible panoramic view opened in front of us. St. Moritz is often called the birthplace of winter tourism and has hosted the Winter Olympics twice. Right in front of the town lies the beautiful Lake St. Moritz. Even before seeing snow, the mountain views around the lake were absolutely stunning. Nearby, the elegant stone bridge crossing the lake outlet adds even more charm to the landscape. This place feels luxurious, peaceful, and naturally beautiful, all at the same time. Our mission for the day was simple: find snow. So we boarded another Bernina train and continued deeper into the Alps. As the train climbed higher, the scenery became increasingly dramatic. One of the highlights on this route is Lago Bianco, the famous white lake. Depending on the season, parts of the lake appear frozen, while the surrounding mountains create an almost surreal landscape. Soon we arrived at Alp Grüm, one of the most spectacular viewpoints on the entire Bernina route. Located at nearly 2,100 meters above sea level, Alp Grüm offers incredible views over the Pelou Glacier and the Pochevaux Valley. We spent some time at the station and restaurant enjoying local food while hoping snowfall would begin. Unfortunately, nature had different plans. At least for now. Since snowfall wasn't happening around Alp Grüm, we made a spontaneous decision. Instead of continuing all the way to Tirano in Italy, we changed direction and headed towards Davos. Sometimes the best moments of a trip happen when the original plan changes. And that turned out to be exactly what happened next. As our train approached the Davos region, something incredible started happening. Tiny snowflakes began appearing outside the window. At first it was only a few flakes, then more and more. Soon the entire landscape started transforming before our eyes. The green fields slowly became white. Trees began collecting fresh snow. Roofs turned white. Roads disappeared beneath a growing blanket of snow. This was our very first snowfall of the trip. And honestly, seeing nature change color in real time felt magical. No camera can truly capture that feeling. We finally arrived in Davos. Davos is one of Switzerland's highest towns and is famous for winter sports, skiing, and hosting the annual World Economic Forum. By now, snow was falling heavily. The station itself looked like something from a winter postcard. Everything around us had become white, and the snowfall was only getting stronger. We spent the next couple of hours exploring Davos. Having some warm food while watching heavy snowfall outside was probably one of the most memorable experiences of the entire Switzerland trip. What amazed me most was how quickly everything changed. Just a few hours earlier, we were surrounded by green mountains. Now the entire landscape looked like winter had officially arrived. Watching the transformation from green to white in real time is something I'll never forget. If there was one moment that perfectly represented Switzerland, this was it. Eventually, it was time to head back. We left Davos and began our return journey through Landquart towards Zurich. As night fell, the mountains slowly disappeared into darkness. The final train ride felt different. The excitement of exploration was slowly being replaced by the realization that our Switzerland adventure was coming to an end. The next morning, we headed to Zurich Airport. After 3 incredible days, countless trains, buses, boats, mountain railways, and unforgettable views, it was finally time to say goodbye. But before leaving, Switzerland had one final gift waiting for us. As the plane accelerated down the runway and lifted into the sky, we got one last look at Switzerland. From above, the landscapes looked even more incredible. Snow-covered peaks, deep valleys, crystal-clear lakes, tiny villages, and endless mountains stretching towards the horizon. Looking out of the window, I couldn't help but think about everything we had experienced in just 3 days. Lucerne, Mount Rigi, Stews, Interlaken, Lauterbrunnen, Mürren, Lake Brienz, Lake Thun, St. Moritz, Alp Grüm, and finally Davos, an unforgettable journey. And just like that, our Switzerland adventure comes to an end. 3 days, hundreds of kilometers traveled, some of the world's most scenic train roads, beautiful lakes, towering mountains, the world's steepest funicular, the Bernina Railway, and our first snowfall. Switzerland exceeded every expectation I had. If you've been thinking about visiting, I can honestly say it's one of the most beautiful countries I've ever traveled through. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Enjoy the final photo montage from this unforgettable trip, and I'll see you in the next adventure.